Good evening. Spring is just about upon us. Hello, Amanda. Hope you're well. The children, the goats, the sheep, the parrots, everything else in your menagerie. It's 16 degrees here, but more importantly, you can hear the magpies singing at night, which tells us spring is upon us. Mother Nature. Although spring doesn't officially begin until the 1st of September in Australia. So it's early. They go all night, don't they?
Yeah, this time of the year.
Painted some half wine barrels today in preparation for summer crops. They'll go all night now. They started about 3 or 4 nights ago, Amanda, but it was the odd sing, not much. But now, if you were here, you'd hear them calling close like you can. But then, half a mile away, there's another half a mile. There's like thousands of them. And they sing to each other. Here it is. It's very nice on the ear. And the time here is pretty much 9 p.m, getting close to 9 p.m. And they'll go all the way through till sunrise.
It doesn't bother us. Bothers some people. Imagine when I get tired.
I think they take turns. Of course, we lived in Riverstone, Richmond. Once we got offered to stay right in the middle of the city, but we both looked at each other and said, no, it's not going to
It
happen.
was a beautiful house though.
Yeah, no. The city is so big now. We went back about 18 months ago. It's huge. It's amazing what we were away for a couple of years and we came back to Sydney and just how the suburbs explode into those tiny little houses all bunched up together. It's like Marsden Park, that's exploding just outside Riverstone. Schofield's gone berserk. My wife's football team, the Fremantle Dockers, beat Sydney tonight and JP. I'm expecting him to come in here any minute now.
Maybe it's too late for him.
Could be.
He
He might be working.
Yeah, gone to bed.
I'm getting the spinning wheel.
What? Really? I'm not on, so I can't see.
Yeah, it normally plays up.
It does and it doesn't.
You can make a meditation video out of that singing all night, can you?
Yep.
Hear all the others in the distance. I'll bring that coffee table in the old lounge just into the new lounge, just for the time being.
Yeah. If you want with this while the room's getting done, but I don't really think we need a coffee table here.
Okay. But just so we can clear that room out. Yeah, man. Hello, are you? The Michigan Marauder.
The what?
Yeah, man. The forklift driver extraordinaire. Legend.
Oh, yeah.
He'll have his own movie made about him in the future.
Actually haven't seen him around for a while.
I'm pretty sure he'll still be working, but plenty of people not working. No, I'm pretty sure we're not a Legon planet system, not in our solar system. Who's that? What's that person? It's a Legon. I am Legon. Just kidding.
It sounds like an alien movie.
He sounds like a Marvel character. Look out, Legon's coming. Good morning, VMAC. You'd be pleased, I just had some blueberry yogurt with some pecan nuts, some cut up banana,
Wow.
and I had something else. Oh, blueberries. Very nice. Yes, I was just pulling your leg, yeah, man. Legend. Was good. It's very thick blueberry yogurt. But I mean, one thing I don't like is Greek yogurt. Nothing against the Greeks or people who eat Greek yogurt. It's just too sour for me. This was a normal yogurt, but really thick. But it was okay.
Made in Margaret River, isn't it?
I think so. Oh yeah, there's two things that always go well together. Apples and blue cheese. My
Yeah.
wife won't eat blue cheese. Our magpies have just told us that spring is upon us. I love blue cheese. It's yum. We went on a wine tour recently and they had quite a lot of blue cheese, which I ate most of it. It was yum. But it's 16 degrees at 9 p.m. at night. Beautiful day, about 24 degrees.
Just got full.
So I'll be planting seeds in about a week's time. A whole bunch of them.
That one barrel I had a feeling you didn't.
No, I did.
Did you? Just, why is it so odd?
I think it's just a very lighter pine.
Maybe it needs another coat of oil.
Can if you want it. I might use that for the melons or the chilies. Right is turning for the weather here, no doubt. Yep, spinning wheel of death. It's going to be in and out. It's 16 degrees here too. But you can hear those magpies singing at night time here. They tell us spring is upon us. They only start singing when the weather turns.
But, maybe you need to clean your phone out before you go next time because you're getting 40.
Wow. Yeah, I like sharp cheese. Probably the one I like best. It's very plain, but just vintage cheddar.
Which phone are you doing it on?
The little one.
I think that could be it too.
Well, that's the more powerful phone. Got 250 gig.
No, I think you need to clean your phone out.
Our magpies are pretty big too. But they get to know you. They're very much, they assimilate themselves to us. Otherwise, we know and we recognise them. Some that we call dark crystal because they walk around that funny walk. And chook. We've got names for nearly all of them. Provolone, that's nice, yeah. Good cheese platter with fruit, apples, pears actually. BMAC is my favourite with blue cheese, I must admit. But yeah, good cheese platter is a nibble on meal for a couple of hours. I've got all the seed raising mixture, the seeds, the biodegradable little pots. My daughter-in-law is keen to learn more, so we'll be doing that together probably next weekend. She grew some stuff this year, didn't she?
Yeah, she did.
Good growing your own veggies. Even if it's not completely supplementing your pantry, but you can do that. I've done it before. With fresh food out of your own garden. You can't beat that.
And then,
So it's a weekend there. I gather being nice weather at 16, you might be doing something.
no, Tony's probably too late for him as well.
Could be. I put linseed oil over half wine barrels today. How many did I do? 6.
Yeah.
That was enough. Because actually, strangely enough, I was warm because the sun was out at about 25 degrees. It wasn't hot, but I had a jumper on. I know you might find that funny, VMAC, but 25 degrees, painting linseed oil on half wine barrels.
We could have talked to him for you. I don't know, did I give you too many stars? You didn't actually put Be Right Back, did you? Oh well. Got a bonus.
But we've got the front fence, that's finished. Now the paving for the front should be done by next weekend. And we're just about done. There'll always be something to do. Big projects will be coming to an end. Have you got someone that you've got in mind, Jojo?
Night Rider. It's supposed to be Rider. I'm tired.
Night Rudder.
Night Rider.
Hard to starboard. Jojo's on board. Captain Jojo.
Night Rider. Oh. Actually, it made me very fatigued, you know.
Yeah,
today.
he had to put his foot down.
He had to put his foot down.
Well, his wife told him to stop impersonating a flamingo.
Yeah.
So he put his foot down. Boom, boom.
Because it was so warm today.
What?
Like, one extreme to the other, it fatigues me.
Well, I was the one out in the sun.
Should have done more. I was out there doing stuff.
It was a beautiful day.
When's the other bit of the furniture come?
The what?
When does the other bit of furniture
The lounge should be here by the end of the month, they said.
So after carpet's done.
Well, it's coming up here anyway, but no, it'll be before the carpets.
Oh.
I failed math so many times at school, I can't even count. Probably, I mean, I'm not an English teacher, Jojo, but I would have said something like, I can't count the many times I failed at mathematics. But that's probably because I'm on the other side of the planet. I have a different perspective.
What are you talking about? You never failed any maths.
No, I was very good at mathematics. I should have been a physicist, but I can't say it too well. What's your job? I'm a account stuff.
Physicist.
Boom, boom. You got to do the piano thing. You know, you could probably play one of Billy Joel's old favourite songs, you know, Piano Man. Play that. But every now and then pause and tell a joke. And I think I've told this to you before. Still haven't seen it. Being a producer and director, I've got no control over the actors, of course, so it's not happened so far. But it's a career waiting to take off. Remember Dean Martin used to have a piano player? Most people are shocked when they find out how bad I am as an electrician. Well, it's because you weren't very good at maths. If you don't do maths that well, you never become an electrician.
When's that other series on TV? Where people go back in time.
The end of the month, I think. Yes, that's true. But light doesn't travel at a constant speed, although some of the most famous people in the world thought so. But Einstein said that there is a possibility that light will bend. He was correct.
Cloud forming. Hot, that cold, hot.
And I was was younger, I worked for the resource department of the Water Authority, checking out levels of river, the flow, all that sort of thing. A lot of scientific equipment. It's good fun. But every now and then we had to be dynamite jacks. We'd have to blow up a ridge to run a ley line down to the river. It had to fall a certain amount over certain distances, so we had to plant dynamite a bit deeper in some places and then rocks a bit more. And that very effect of watching this thing go up, and then seconds later, boom. Quite eerie, actually. These bombs, the sergeant said, "Don't worry, son. You won't hear the sound of the bomb if it hits." And that's true. That's true.
I understand why it's not very bright.
I have no problem in people giving people money. It's never been my issue. I have a great deal of problem when you help somebody in greed. Big difference. Someone in need, we would never turn our back upon it. But someone in pure greed, something basically very evil and narcissistic about that. It offers nothing intrinsic value for the giver. The person receiving the money doesn't care who it comes from. And you could throw $1 million at people with that. I don't have anyone in need unless I see they are not trying to. Exactly. I have a famous old saying that I've used for years, and that I will always help someone from the ground when they're on their knees. I'll help them to their feet, but I ain't walking for them. "Doctor, there's a patient in line that says he's invisible." Well, tell him I can't see him right now. Man, these jokes are 1930s, Jojo. How old are you? You're good. It does need a piano accompaniment.
I need chocolate. Help me.
Oh, V-man, if we'd have taken you to this place in the Swan Valley, not too far, that chocolate shop, it's just all chocolate, and it's all different types. And I think a lot of people can't leave there. I think you go back week after week, and it'll be the same people up against the wall, banging up against the wall, trying to find the door. But they're blinded by the chocolate. A recent study has found that a woman who carried a little extra weight lived longer than men who mention it. Yes. Does my ass look big in this doll? Well, let's put it this way. I'm not going to answer that, because I will incriminate myself.
Oh, we should go to the store.
But the world is entering a phase of where we not are going to lose control, but we'll have no possible way of pushing back against what's coming. We just have to live with it. The chocolate stash needs replenishing.
Yes, that is mine.
The next thing that's going to happen, and it's just an intrinsic thing where nationalism prevails in all countries, where they will look after their own first. So there'll be trade wars like we've never seen before. They're coming. The shortages. Why isn't that on the shelf anymore, Joe? No, we just can't get it. What about the other shelves? No, we can't get that either. Being reliant on other countries to provide commodities for you means that you're putting all your eggs in one basket. When that basket's not there. One thing that is good out of that is that people will become more productive of products that are not available to be imported. If a pasta farmer gets sued, can he garnish his wages? Yes, he could. Especially if he's an Italian.
I think I got a garden.
Jojo has a garden, yes, but it's just basically a garden full of ex-wives planted upside down. Why? Well, there's a reason. He's got lots of friends with push bikes.
Stop it.
But I'll park my bike, Joe, over there.
I'll get VMAC to ban you.
But I've got a big man boat with big white tires. Well, have you seen Lot 44? You could park a truck in that one. I had a good thought today, and of course I don't want to politically inflame anyone. My opinions are my own. But it truly is the case of all the years that I've followed politics around the globe, US in particular, that we've come to a point where the division in Americans is staggering. There's not only Democratic voters, Republican voters, but there's just that other third voter who gets lost and will vote for someone like Mr. Trump. But this is what I've worked out. If I was given a speech to the American people, I would start off by saying, my fellow humans, because I'm not an American, of course, I would suggest that you vote for your country in the coming election. What do I mean by that? I don't care who you vote for or who your alliance is, but vote for your country. Vote for America.
I thought you said vote.
I did, but no one caught it other than
I
you.
did.
It's the pecan nut still in my top teeth. I've been trying to get it out. Anyway, I call upon all good Americans to put the shoulder to the wheel and work together in unity, something that's been lost. At the moment, I look from afar, from the outside in on the US, and see a divided country not dissimilar to the 1950s and 60s. Racial tension has never been so high, right wing, left wing, some without wings at all. But it does remind me that the only way you can move forward under this adversity is to pull together as a nation. So who do I want you to vote for in the coming election? I want you to vote for America. Because the one I remember doesn't currently exist. End of the speech. Now we'll do an ad for Twinkies. Buy Twinkies, get fat, and get government money for that show you've always wanted to do on YouTube, my 600-pound van life.
What? 600?
My 600.
Well, I heard he was giving up.
I just had pizza delivered to the window. I'll vote for the monkey that was sent into space. That was smarter than Trump. Now wait, Jojo. Forklift, woman, rain, elephant, chair. It is what it is. Is buffering because I'm being attacked. Probably by the Russians. Yes, that's what I put it down to. I think if you look at any country in its true essence, anyone who gets to lead a country primarily has one task alone. That's to look after the health and well-being of its people. That's it. Whatever that takes to do, that's it. That's your job as a leader of the country, to look after the health and well-being of all people. Unless you want to vote for someone who owns a chocolate factory.
Yes.
Well, I don't know how you're going to get into Canada. You're going to go through Alaska and go through that little corner bit that is Canada and say, oh, I've got a flat tyre. I'll only be 3 years changing it.
And that reminds me. You know, Lauren and Drew.
Who?
Lauren and Drew.
Yes.
In 2024, I think it is, no, 2022,
Mm-hmm.
they booked a cruise to go to Alaska. If
Yes, I would like to go to, no, not Alaska. I would go to Canada
God,
for a cruise.
Canada and Alaska, but
Mm.
but the people they booked with, because it's a cruise, have
They have changed the rules very frequently. Yeah, that's always been a loophole, female. I don't know what it is. I read years ago that that little corner that they go through something like 300 or 400,000 people a week minimum. Now, I have a feeling some sneaky Americans are trying to hang around. We have a policy in my state in Western Australia. We don't have any virus at all. But we do have returning citizens from around the world who do have the virus, and they go into quarantine. And they also get a leg monitor, which is connected to the wide world web. And if they go wandering, very draconian with these leg irons on, and they've got to do what they're told, or they cop the consequences. They have to enter through one of 3 distant courts. They have to drive straight through. Yeah, but I don't think they are, Vima. I think some people have been a bit sneaky. That's my personal opinion. I think a lot of people from south of Canada are probably really trying to get into Canada.
They've booked with some cruise mob that go to
Oh, yeah.
do the Alaskan thing.
Oh, look, they'll take your money, but if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen.
No, there's guaranteed a full refund if things don't change by the time they cruise.
Well, that's probably only about 20 grand, I guess, is it?
27.
That's not bad. That's the flights.
That's everything.
That's pretty good. I mean, flights to Canada from here, business class are a good 9,000.
But they've got a clause because of what's been happening that if it's still, if you can't travel or COVID or whatever, they'll get full refund. But 2022 they've booked it for.
Hello, Tony.
How awesome.
One guy was caught last week going through sightseeing. He was arrested. He was facing 75k fine. Yep, that's about the same here. Like most of you would be aware that Victoria, which is a state in the southern part of Australia, had a fairly major outbreak. Well, major as far as Australia goes. But they've locked everyone up in their own homes unless you're an essential worker. Police are doing the same thing, and the numbers are coming down. And if you don't wear a mask, you'll be fined, or arrested, or both. They had an anti-mask protest, Tony, in Melbourne. They were expecting 2,000 people to turn up. There was 5 people that turned up, and they all got arrested and hit with a big fine.
How far's Canada from Alaska?
It's right next door.
Can they even hear us? It's buffering.
Can they hear us? You can see Alaska from Canada.
No,
And
like it's
Ms. Palin can look the other way.
all right telling me it's next door. I'm talking like
What happens is you've got, if you look on the map, you'll see Alaska is right alongside Canada. In a bit of a dip, but
you've got WA, you've got Australian states.
mm-hmm.
Tell it to me in that.
Imagine if you saw WA up here, and then I got Northern Territory and Australia and just pulled it down a bit. Well, that would be Canada to the right, and Alaska to the left. By Joe, when I become vice president, Mr. McCain will probably die, and you'll get me as your president, yeah, and we'll all go hunting. And if you sit on my veranda, when the weather's right, you can see Mr. Putin riding his horse. Giddy up. Das ist gut. Hello, Miss Palin. There was no legitimate reason to enter Canada now. I don't know how he got in the first time.
Well, yeah, Moses, man. So tiny.
What's your purpose of being in Canada? I intend to be a vagrant, but I'm going to park within the lines at any supermarket, Walmart or something like that, and I'll make sure no other fat guys come in here but me. I always thought of a perfect job during the pandemic for the fat man in the van, and that is to, point being there, he's working from home.
Oh, God.
I say, Jesus, at my window, he is my gardener. Who's that singer that sang this song, JoJo? She reminded me of Palin. It was, I'm just a girl that can't say no. Whoever she was, that's what she reminds me of. I don't know why McCain picked her.
Oh, God, mate. You got my keyboard again.
I was thinking I'm going to get a guitar shortly. I'm going to make a few songs up like, because you can make up a lot of songs about e-beggars easily. All my girls have got penises, and my mother has a wang as well. But he's divorced his mother, well, his surrogate mother now, so not that he's really interested in his real mother.
I'm my grandpa's something. Buffering.
That's because we're being monitored, Homeland Security. Actually, I've been getting phone calls
Oh, yeah.
from, this is, and it's all that electronic voice. This is Home Security. There is a criminal warrant out for your arrest.
It actually said Homeland Security.
Ah, Homeland.
Because I took the call.
If you call this number, we'll take all your information and your credit card numbers, and we'll get back to you and stop you being arrested.
But just don't you find it weird that all of a sudden you're getting phone calls that are actually, we don't even have
Yeah,
FBI,
but
we
it's
don't
generic.
even
It's
have-
worldwide on a phone planner,
But-
working through Skype
But
and
would
things.
you not think that they'd use the common sense and just stick to that sort of thing in their own country? Why ring Australia when we don't have FBI
Let me give you an idea. If there's a little Russian guy
training?
sitting in the back of a flat in Moscow, hammering the world to try and scam them, he doesn't know we don't have Homeland Security in Australia. So he'll just punch it in.
Is that a bit of rain?
Slight rainfall, and there is no wind.
Thank goodness. But they must be up at night doing these calls.
No, it'll be like if it's automated, it's just you can get a dial planner and you hook it up to say Skype and you just phone 1 million people and then some take the bait and then you work on them. That's what they do.
Mm.
We have federal and state police. That's all we have. We
Yeah.
have an overriding ASIO, which is a bit like our FBI.
I do. We didn't even know that. I live in Australia.
Lady phoned me from, I believe, Kolkata. Sir, if you don't give me access to your computer, I said, I'm dying. Didn't you hear me, dear? I
Yeah.
have no one to leave all my wealth to.
And he felt sorry for
Who
you.
are you?
He felt sorry for you. 'Cause
Yeah.
You said you were
If you
sick.
could send me your phone details and banking information, I'll transfer anything I've got left in my bank to you. Also, I'm just calling about your... Well, I'll just get my card. One moment. Oh, too bad. Sir, are you still there? So I can... Sir, don't die.
Actually, there hasn't been any of those scam computer calls in a couple of years. It's
No.
changed everything else. Taxation office and the bank. But the sad thing is some people get caught.
People can be easily fooled. The worst one, I think, is someone like some bloke doing a scam on middle-aged to older women, you know, doing a love sort of thing with them, and I miss you and want you to be... If I could only travel, all I need is 10,000, and then we could be together and be holding each other. What's your credit card details? All right, John, I'll send them to you. Take as much as you need. Yes, plenty of them. But that's life. You've got to make sure that you don't trip up. I'm getting the spinning wheel.
Yeah, I had it and it's gone. Tony, are you there? You've been catching up on Baby Cat?
Baby can. Oh, baby can. You're full of the crap. Whoa. I think the problem is, and that it's eternal within all of us, VMAC, is hope. If there is an outside chance that a lonely 65-year-old woman could have a companion and possibly a little bit of hanky-panky, and all it will cost her is a few $1,000s, she may have $500,000, $1 million in the bank. It's not a big loss. But it happens all the time. If you give people hope, they will cling to it. Enjoy your swim, Jojo, but do not wear the thong. I mean,
See you, Jojo.
you can if you want to.
Has VMAX put a report in of her weather?
No, she did say it was
VMAX.
16 degrees though,
Oh,
which is the same temperature we've got here tonight.
but I bet you hers is colder.
No, it should be quite pleasant for her at 16. Her 16 is probably hour 30.
I don't think so.
You hate to be naked. You were born naked, and you will leave this world naked, Jojo. This is true. But, VMAC, have you noticed as we get older, and I'm probably talking about myself because you were just a young lady, but as you get older, you look around and you see older people and think, geez, they're old. And then you look in the mirror and think, no, actually, you're getting there too. Oh no, we could not possibly get
No,
a picture 16.
no way.
Not happening.
No.
To give you an idea, VMAC, Australian spas, if you went to a spa, they're set at 40 or 42 degrees Celsius this time of year than land. Well, I've always thought that old people, VMAC, are just young people with wrinkles. That's how I've always looked at them. They've travelled a lot more than I have. You'll be in the water this afternoon, whether you like it or not. Water's fantastic. The ocean, the rivers, even rain. It's within our very embodiment as a human. We need to hear, see or touch water. And drink it. But our temperatures are creeping up to about 24s during the day and about 10 or 12 at night. I'll swim the sea until after Labor Day. I used to dive in this weather because the water is warmer. Hypothermia, you can get caught out when you're diving because you'll get currents mix in with currents. You'll be going, the water's quite nice, then quite cold, and you just keep going. And you get out of the water, and I've sort of had one bout of hypothermia in my life where I was dried and dressed, sitting in the vehicle afterwards, and I started to shake. I think, what's going on here? And for about 2 hours. Got a headache, blurred vision, but I was lucky. Just too much time in the cold water. It's a good question you brought up the year before, 1950. If you had a choice to live in 1950 or today, knowing a fair bit about the 50s, would you choose to live that or live in the current time? Today, without a doubt. Is that because of technology? Would that be the main reason?
What? You're going to the 1950s.
No, I was just saying. I mean, let's think about the 50s in general. Yeah, you're right. There was definitely restrictions on women, like you couldn't go to the pub, BMAC in Australia in the 50s. In fact, you couldn't go into the pub till 1975. The old ads. Mrs. Smith sees her husband John off to walk, kisses him on the cheek. Have a good day, dear. John says, I'll be looking forward to my dinner on the table when I get home. Mrs. Smith goes shopping. Look at the price of meat. She'll have to make something out of that. She now sweeps up for 10 minutes.
It's funny what
Turns on daytime television for 6 hours.
Oh, that.
And then presses the oven on for John's dinner.
Or the old ads, like in the newspaper magazines for women. That's some of the things they used to advertise. You wouldn't be allowed to do that now.
The women of this world have had to fight for generations to get anywhere. And still, there is not an equality in pay all around the world. Doesn't matter where you are. And, well, in Australia we do have a lot of female politicians. It's been that way for about. I work in a male-dominated job at my uni graduation class. There are very few women. In that particular degree, in the 50s, I would not have even been admitted. That's true. They would have said, oh, hi, BMAC, why are you here? I'm coming to apply for the degree. Oh, I'm sorry. You have breasts. Come back after the sex change. Goodbye. But it will change, BMAC. Long after we're gone, women will dominate politics. It's a natural attrition towards that. Well, today you would hope that experience and knowledge is the payment method. If you're far more experienced and are reliable beyond the normal Joe Blow, you should get paid more. In other words, merit-based income. That's how it should always be. Keep seeing the spinning wheel. It must be annoying people. I apologise for that, but I don't own an internet providing station.
And I think it's, like I said, the spread's fine. Although one of the cams cut out.
All right. Time to go. I haven't even put my stuff from the market away yet. Well, you enjoy your Saturday morning. I hope you have a great Saturday swim.
Enjoy.
And we shall tootle off ourselves, but I think it must be annoying for people when it spins. So here's the boss. And I'm just a servant. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Until next time, have a great day wherever you are in the world. If you happen to be going to the beach, just remember there are cold-blooded sharks even in Canada. Da, 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 da.